because you can hold it with one hand, you can hold it with two hands, and that's why the people call it a bastard sword in those times, because it was a combination between a one-handed sword and or the army sword and the two-handed sword. Yeah. But even though it was called a bastard sword, it was considered maybe the rarity among the sword in its time, because you don't have to use a shield like with a one-handed sword, because you can hide just beneath the blade, and it is not so awkward like big two-handed sword, so it will not stick in the ground when you turn it. And everything about the sword is a weapon. So you have your blades for the slicing, you have your tip for thrust. This thing here, this pommel, this was actually for the balance of the sword, so the sword is balanced right here. But also in the battle you use this like a boxer, so we'll show you that. This spikes here, just like on the najak. So the sword were sharpened up to here, so you can actually grab the sword by that there. If you have a metal gauntlet, you can grab it here. If you don't, you pinch the blade, and then you can actually go to the armor and try to rip open the armor. Also, with the crossguard, it is a protection for your fingers, but also it was something that you can lock with somebody else's sword. So when you go to parry and the blade is sliding down, you lock the other guy's sword and you are in control of the sword. So the crossguard also give you the opportunity to take someone's sword, so we will show you all of that here. So now first I will show you about that 6 master cuts, and then how to defend from that 6 master cuts. So the master cuts are actually the cuts that are basic cuts in the sword fighting, and all the other cuts are derived from that master cuts. So you have 2 overcuts, 2 middle cuts, and 2 undercuts.
Let's hope nobody gets cut.
So if I'm, for example, against him, the overcut will be between his shoulder or collarbone and to the hip. So you will go like this and you will cut there in this diagonally. The other is just in this side. Middle cut is between your shoulder and your hip, and you're going horizontally like this on one side and on the other. And the thing is, when you go into the body, you don't just go into the body, you just want to slice. And the undercut is just the opposite of the overcut, or you're going for the leg. And the undercut is quite good because you're finishing in the defense stance called the ox. So when you go to the undercut, you go like this, and then you here. So you actually threaten the opponent. From the other side, you go there. So you're always covering yourself from your, with your sword, even when you're attacking. And now, how to hold the sword. Any of you from US here? No? Well, why I'm asking, because I always say that if there is somebody from the US, don't be offended. We always say don't hold it like an American. Because of the baseball bat, you see, they tend to hold it like this, and then you actually don't have proper movement with the sword, because if you want to do something swiftly, let's say overcut and undercut, then what's happening, your hands collide. Yeah. So you have to hold it down by the pommel, so you have freedom to wield the sword. Yeah. Now, how to hold it? Right hand is all the way here, and when you're defending, thumb is on the blade. So you're defending yourself with the flat of the blade, and this is your cushion for the blow. Without this, without this, the blade is falling down, so if your blade is here, it will just strike you. When you get in your pommel, your thumb here, so it's a cushion for the blow. And when you're attacking, your thumb is down, and it's pointing with which side of the blade do you cut. Now this is my long blade, this is my short blade, I want to cut with my long blade. When you go like this is your long blade. Why the long blade? Because if you, for example, go from this side and try to go this is a bit awkward. So you want to cross your hands and go like this. This is more natural. Okay. Yeah. Now we will show you the defense from that basic attack. So from the overcut, first is sliding of the other guy's sword. So you're going like this, you slide the sword, you're moving to the side. And this is the basic difference between the Olympic fencing and medieval sword fighting. Olympic fencing is more linear sport. With medieval fighting, you actually you cover the whole space, 360 degrees. Also, from the overcut, now I will show you that locking of the sword. So you go there, and you here, you just do this, and you lock the sword. Now I'm actually in control of the sword. Yeah. Also, with the crossguard, you can, with the help of the cross guard, you can take some swords. So you're going here, staying down, and then doing this. If the guy is very strong, he don't let me to get his sword. That's why you have a pommel here. Go with the pommel in the head directly. From the middle cut, you have like a school defense, and that is just this. You go here and you stand there. Now I'm using his sword as a lever, and I'm doing this, and you're going inside the body. So why this? Because he's still pushing. If I go like this, his sword will cut me. So I'm using that to go underneath the sword. Also, you can use a cross guard like with the overcut. Znači, stop watching. You're going there, and then lock, and then this is like your guide just to go.
Oh,
Yeah. Now, as it was called hand and a half sword, you can always take your left hand off the sword, and that's how you take the sword from this position. So you're going there, thumb is here, and you go here, and then try to squeeze the sword. Also, you have some position called torte spada. That means turning the sword around with the help of your cross guard and your handle. Znači isto. So you're going there, push up here, and then when you're there, you try to go with the sword. And now you have even the technique that was called half swording or halfschwert. So this technique was actually used in the battle, because in the battle you don't have time like in a duel or the space to go one-on-one, because the people are around you. So you're closing with your opponents and try to do damage from the close combat. So that's how, for example, if somebody struck you here, znači, watch me, you're doing this, then you pull the sword down and try to go for the under the chin. Or from this side, a little bit different. So you're going here, then when you push the sword, then you use this stuff to go under the pauldrons, to go on the hip, on the knee, or like this, or like with the jacket there, and then to your knee. And also you do this when the people are attacking you very hard from top. So you're doing this, and then cross guard, and then the pommel. So the pommel is quite effective with the sword fighting. And from the undercut, when you actually want somebody to cut you on the head or on the leg and everything, you actually invite the opponent to do that. For example, if I want to go with my strategy that I assume that the opponent will be go for my head, I will go like this with my head exposed, or here, or for the undercut you go with your leg. So if you want somebody to catch you on your leg, you go like this. Then you go down, then you turn the sword and go for the throw.
Oh.
So it was not about your strength, it was just about your speed and just the wrist, the movement of your wrist. Yeah. Okay, now any questions for this? Is some